It is Monday, July 6, 2020, and you are tuned into DIRTRACKR Daily. I'm Justin Fiedler. There's a lot to talk about from the weekend, so let's just go ahead and jump right in. Pennsylvania Speedweek wound down over the weekend with the tour running Friday night at Williams Grove and Saturday at Port Royal Speedway. At the Grove on Friday, it was Lance DeWeese who led early from the pole, but he was quickly under fire from Brent Marks. Marks took the lead a few laps in and quickly gapped the 69K. Out back, Kyle Larson settled into third. Later, with 12 laps to go, Larson was on the move, getting by DeWeese for second and setting his sights on Marks out front. A few laps later, with Marks working lap traffic, Larson made his move for the lead into turn one. The two appeared to make contact, with Larson coming out with the lead. Larson held on over the final remaining laps to take the $15,000 win and extend his points lead over Danny Dietrich heading into the final night at Port Royal. On Saturday, it was Logan Wagner and Brent Marks starting from the front row at Port Royal, with Larson starting fourth. Wagner held off multiple attempts by Marks to lead the early going. This night would belong to Kyle Larson, though. With 21 laps still left, Larson rolled by the Zemco machine to take the lead. The 57 was briefly challenged by Brent Marks a few laps later while working lap traffic, but Larson was able to get the top spot back. From there, Larson drove away and survived two late restarts to win the PA Speedweek finale. Marks was second, Rico Abreu third, Brock Zierfoss fourth, and Lance DeWeese was fifth. Larson, very good all week, earned the Speedweek title by more than 300 points over Danny Dietrich. According to SprintCarRatings.com, Larson banked over $52,000 in prize money and had an average finish of 2.3 over the week. Pretty incredible stuff. You don't often see a domination like that for one of these speed weeks. Larson certainly had it tuned up with Paul Silva all week long. I'm not sure where we'll see Larson next. I guess we'll find out in the coming days. Jumping over to the World of Outlaws, both World of Outlaws series were at Cedar Lake Speedway on Friday and Saturday night for $20,000 to win features. Saturday night's features were also live on CBS Sports Network, concluding a run of live racing on TV from the Outlaws. The early going of the Friday night sprint car feature was controlled by Carson Macedo. At the midpoint, he held off a challenge from Logan Schuchart to maintain the top spot. Behind him, though, Brad Sweet was on the move from his 7th starting position. As the race approached 10 laps to go, the battle for the lead was on between Sweet and Macedo. Sweet cleared the Kyle Larson racing machine to lead lap 24, and then over the final 12 laps, Sweet gapped the field and drove away to win night one. Kerry Madsen finished second, Carson Macedo was back to third, David Gravel fourth, and Logan Schuchart was fifth. On Saturday night, it was David Gravel who started on the pole. He jumped to the lead on the start. Gravel dominated much of the main event, leading 31 of the 35 laps. Out back, the Napa 49 of Brad Sweet was methodically picking his way through the field from his 9th starting position. With 15 laps to go, Sweet had moved into the top 5. A caution with 10 laps left to go for a shredded tire on Wayne Johnson's car gave Sweet the track position he needed to make a run at Gravel out front. He restarted 4th and was 3rd a lap later, but there was another caution for a flipped Shane Stewart. There were several tire issues actually towards the end of the race. Several cars ended up in the work area for right rear changes, including Logan Schuchart and Donnie Schatz. Over the final laps, though, Sweet reeled in Gravel from 4th and took the lead coming to 3 laps remaining. From there, he drove away from Gravel to take the weekend sweep. Gravel finished 2nd, Craig Kinzer was 3rd, Parker Price Miller 4th, and Kerry Madsen was 5th. The DIRTRACKR.com analytics section has results back through the 2018 season for the World of Outlaws, and Saturday night sprint car feature was the first time back through at least that 2018 season that the winner was actually also the night's hard charger. Interesting to see Sweet come from 9th all the way to win that race and get the Hard Charger award as well. Leaving the weekend, there has been more movement in the World of Outlaws standings. Schuchart is now 2nd. He's 114 points behind Sweet. Schatz is back to 3rd after another uncharacteristic weekend, which saw him finish outside the top 10 both nights. Carson Macedo is 4th, and Sheldon Haudenschild is 5th. 2nd through 6th in the standings, 6th is actually Darren Pittman, is only separated by 82 points right now, so a lot can change and will change in the coming weeks. Brad Sweet's incredible 2020 season continues. He now has 7 wins in 19 races. His average finish over the last 5 features is 1.6. He currently has 18 top 10 finishes and 16 top 5 finishes on the season. The Outlaws have 3 races this upcoming weekend: Friday at 34 Raceway, Saturday at Wilmot Raceway, and Sunday at the Terre Haute Action Track. We'll preview those nights later in the week and do some World of Outlaws predictions. Over to the World of Outlaws late models, they also had 2 $20,000 to win features. On Friday, it was rookie Ashton Winger and veteran Daryl Lanigan who started on the front row, with Winger taking the lead at the start. Winger dominated much of the 40-lap main event, but late in the going, he was under fire from Brandon Shepard. At multiple points, Shepard had actually cleared Winger for the lead, but every time the rookie was able to battle back by the Rocket House car. Coming to the checkered, it was Winger winning his first ever World of Outlaws race over Shepard, with Ricky Weiss 3rd, Dennis Erb Jr. 4th, and Daryl Lanigan in 5th. I tweeted this out out over the weekend, but Ashton Winger has really found something as of late. He finished 18th at Davenport back at the end of May, and since then has 6 top 10 finishes in 7 races, including a 4th at Volunteer Speedway and the Cedar Lake win. The rookie is definitely on a roll right now. After missing out on the win on Friday night, Brandon Shepard wasn't going to be denied on Saturday. He and Cade Dillard battled in the early laps, but from there it was all B. Shep out front. He led 39 of the 40 laps in the feature en route to the $20,000 score live on television. Dillard finished second, Ricky Weiss was third, Dennis Erb Jr. fourth, and Jimmy Mars finished in fifth. Brandon Shepard continues to lead the standings handily over Ricky Weiss. Darrell Lanigan is third, Cade Dillard fourth, and Chase Youngins is fifth. Dillard continues to stack up top 10 finishes lately as well, and Ricky Weiss has 2 thirds and an 8th after a rough weekend back at Lernerville. So a couple of young guys on the move there as well. Next up for the Outlaws is 2 Wisconsin shows this weekend. We'll also preview those on Friday. Speaking of late model national tours, the Luke Soul Late Model Dirt Series had a pair of Ohio shows this weekend, starting Friday at Muskingum County. Jonathan Davenport led at the start from the pole. Superman was strong out front for much of the feature, but as the race wound down, Tyler Erb started reeling him in as the leaders worked lap traffic. With 7 laps left, cars in front of the leaders got 3 wide, and that gave Erb the opening he needed, passing Davenport down the backstretch. He led the remainder of the show and survived a late race restart to take his first series win of the season. Devin Moran finished second, Jonathan Davenport third, Tyler Carpenter fourth, and Hudson O'Neill was fifth. Points leader Jimmy Owens battled up from 17th to finish in the 6th position. On Saturday at Portsmouth, it was all Jimmy Owens. He led all 50 laps en route to his 70th career Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series win. It was also Owens' 5th win in 6 races with the series. Jonathan Davenport finished second, Billy Moyer Jr. third, Kyle Bronson fourth, and Tim McCready was 5th. After the weekend, Jimmy Owens extended his massive lead in the standings to 420 points over Jonathan Davenport. Tyler Erb is third, Tim McCready fourth, and Devin Moran is 5th. The Luke Soul Late Model Dirt Series is back this weekend for 2 nights at the Florence Speedway. Starting Friday at Attica Speedway, Ohio Sprint Speedweek for the All-Star Circuit of Champions got underway. Night 1 saw a great battle out front between Buddy Kofoid, Aaron Reitzel, and Cap Henry, with all 3 credited with leading laps through the night. At the end of the 40-lap feature, it was Cap Henry winning the opener over Kofoid, Reitzel, Cale Thomas, and Cale Conley. Saturday and Sunday, the tour moved over to the Fremont Speedway for 2 nights. The night before, Buddy Kofoid led laps and finished second at Attica, but he was 1 spot better Saturday at Fremont. He led all 35 laps en route to the win over series points leader Aaron Reitzel. Cole Duncan was third, Greg Wilson fourth, and Josh Boffman finished 5th. The triumph was Kofoid's 2nd ever All-Star win. On Sunday at Fremont, Paul McMahon led the opening circuit, but second starting Lee Jacobs was quickly after McMahon, and he led lap 2. Jacobs was good out front, but Reitzel slowly reeled him in, and then 10 laps in, Reitzel was there. The 2 battled for several laps, with Reitzel finally grabbing the lead on lap 16. He went unchallenged the rest of the way to earn his 32nd career All-Star win. Paul McMahon finished second, Lee Jacobs third, Buddy Kofoid fourth, and Cale Conley was 5th. Heading to Wayne County Speedway tonight, Reitzel has a 2-point advantage over Kofoid in the week-long Ohio Sprint Speedweek points. Paul McMahon, Cale Conley, and Jack Haudenschild round out the top 5. You can watch all of the action live from Wayne County tonight on Flow Racing. Speaking of the All-Stars, I've added a bunch of 2020 races to the Dirt Tracker Analytics section. There are currently 11 races in the database, with a lot more to come. The full complement of stats is also available. You can find them at dirttracker.com/analytics/allstar. And along with those 11 races, once we start getting more, and I'll start talking about some more of those stats and driver rating and some of those other stats, I want to kind of have the full 2020 schedule in before I kind of start talking about some of that stuff, just to give you a full picture on what that series kind of looks like right now and what some of those stats are. But we'll certainly continue adding the Ohio Sprint Speedweek results there, as well as I also backfill from the rest of the season. Moving over to USAC, the USAC Sprint Cars had a pair of shows Friday and Saturday at Lincoln Park Speedway. On night 1, after not originally planning to even race, it was 6 starting Shane Cottle grabbing the win over Justin Grant, Chris Windham, CJ Leary, and Chase Stockin. Cottle took over the lead on lap 8 and was never really challenged again out front. On Saturday at Lincoln Park, it was Justin Grant who led the feature early from the pole. Coming to halfway, the battle out front became a 3-way scrap between Grant, Brady Bacon, and CJ Leary. The 3 guys threw sliders, swapped lanes, put on a heck of a show there for a while. Bacon settled in for a few laps then out front, but working lap traffic with a few to go, Bacon was back under fire from CJ Leary. Leary officially led lap 27, but Bacon was strong on the top, and he used a couple of lap cars to keep Leary behind him. At the line, the 2 were nose to tail, with Bacon grabbing the win. CJ Leary finished second, Justin Grant third, Chase Stockin fourth, and Tanner Thorson was 5th. Justin Grant has extended his points lead to 70 markers now over Chris Windham. Brady Bacon is third, CJ Leary fourth, and Chase Stockin is 5th. The series is back this weekend for 2 nights at Knoxville Raceway, the Corn Belt Nationals. A lot of good racing here still to come with USAC, a lot of fun stuff. If you didn't get a chance to check out those highlights from Saturday at Lincoln Park, I would definitely recommend doing so. Really great racing there up front. And it's so funny with these guys, and I saw Logan Seavey tweeted about this, and he's absolutely right, how a night like Saturday is almost kind of average for these guys. And if you saw racing like that in a lot of other series, it would be blowing up all over the internet, but for some reason these shows just don't. And I guess it's just because the racing is so good all of the time. But if you haven't checked out those highlights, I would certainly recommend doing that. If you'd like to see a full list of weekend open wheel winners, you can do that at tjslideways.com. For a full list of weekend late model winners, check out the schedule section of dirtondirt.com. There was certainly a lot of racing from over the weekend, and so much that we certainly can't talk about all of it on a very short podcast. But I'll probably check off a couple more of those races. I want to check in with the Knoxville. They had a pair of shows over the weekend and get you updated on the Knoxville points as well. And maybe we'll check in with some of the other racing series tomorrow on the show. Also, the World of Outlaws Late Model Series iRacing Championship is underway tonight at 9. You can watch that live on iracing.com/live or twitch.com/iracing. We'll certainly recap the last couple of weeks tomorrow on the show for that as well. That's the show for today. You can find Dirt Tracker Daily on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or where you get podcasts. Please subscribe and leave a review. You can also watch the show every day on YouTube and Facebook. You can email the show at info@dirttracker.com, and you can follow along at facebook.com/dirttracker, twitter.com/dirttracker, and the website itself, dirttracker.com. You can follow me personally on Twitter at Justin_Fiedler, and don't forget to sign up for the Dirt Tracker weekly newsletter. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow for more Dirt Tracker Daily.